It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
So long, but they win when it matters as well, right? Like these guys, I feel like they always play better when tournaments go on. They always start to ramp up their talent. They're playing their 9 now in the final. They've done their 1 to 8. And the Sudoku is up for the 9s now.
That's rough because there's a minimum of 3 games. So you got your 9, you got your 10, and then all of a sudden the end of it's getting reverse sweep, maybe? I don't know. We're only in game 1 in a BO5, so we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. I think if we start doing these BO5s on their own days, it should just be a BO7 or a BO9. Let's go all out. Let's have a full 12-hour day, BO9, 9 games.
Last game 69 by yourself, because I'll be knackered. I'll be hoping for a clean 5-0.
So you got a nice rest.
Yeah, coming into the stuff, Cdec definitely the underdog here. I'd say that they lost a little bit before, but no reason they can't go forward in this. Looks better. They hit Aramis early on in the draft. We get a nice reposition here early. And they have this in the first phase now. So the end of the first phase, so they can pick their core hero then if they want. And use these 3 bands as a second phase of balance. We'll see if they do end up doing it.
This is very different from what we've been seeing so far, but there's the TB. I mean, that was very fast into that one. Eurus getting the TB for himself immediately. And I was going to say it's really different from what we've been seeing because we've seen a lot of, when was the last time we saw Clockwork as that first pick? It's normally like your Mars or your Phoenix. It's been that way a lot, actually. And now they go Clockwork Morph. So a lot of the teams that we saw not performing well, I feel like didn't pick their 1 position early on. And now we're seeing it be what every team is doing, or at least what winning teams are doing. And both these teams have been winning. So
we have to remember in the upper bracket final before, Terrorblade won all 3 games. And
oh god,
so
don't even.
you know, it was not surprising that coming into the final, this is the hero that both teams want. And I love that Vici get their shaker, even if it has to play against the clock. I feel like PYW's been doing really well on this. So I'm now looking to see. Yeah, I think these hard supports are the big ones that I would look out for personally. You know, we've seen the Shadow Demon and Oracle all the time. You know, especially Oracle, we've seen some amazing performances. So I'm wondering, going into the second phase here, you know, Clock's probably going to be the 5, you would assume, for Super, who's been playing that a lot. But Vici, what do they want to pair with their Terrorblade to keep it alive?
Yeah, I will say, though, we did see SRF play that Clockwork. And he played it really well in that RNG series, I thought. In that RNG series. So I'm interested to see if they put him on it again here. No, like, I wouldn't be too surprised. I don't think it's set in stone that it's going to be this 5 position just yet. No, especially with a potential maybe James Shadow Shaman. Potentially, like that's been his go-to.
So they do need some burst damage, right, to deal with the TB. I think it was the first game of the series yesterday, they picked Zeus against TB, and I was saying that, you know, we'd seen Zeus already, and it actually didn't look that great. But XM had a really good Zeus performance, so that might be something that they look to go to again. You know, we also saw SRF play Sand King up against the TB, which I think was something that they valued quite highly.
So they go to the Void Spirit here for XM, most likely. I feel like every time we cover this region and we see Void Spirit, like, it's 99% of the time it's in that mid position, but it's like Jin-Q has just put this doubt in my head that maybe it could be a 4-position Void Spirit coming in from CDC. Not that I think it will be, but there's always that shred of maybe it'll swap up a little bit.
Is it not a really good puck game now? Up against Morphling and Void Spirit? Like, they don't have any hard catch either. And Ori loves that hero.
Yeah.
I
wonder what they want to pick here. They go to the Nature's Prophet, and that could be your off. I would say it's probably either Yang or DY's hero.
I mean, I would assume it's Yang's, because if it is position 5 clock, it lanes really well up against that as well.
So that would give the inclination that they've gone their 1-3-4 so far for Vici. Whereas CDC, I think things are kind of open. And there's that Sand King you were talking about that until yesterday hadn't seen a game. And there's your puck. Mo, man, I don't need to be here. I'm just going to... Actually, I would show off that I'm just wearing shorts and I'm not fully dressed up right now. So I don't want to give away the illusion. So DK getting banned. But yeah, SK coming in here, it seems like the right pick. We haven't seen it at all, and I'm still kind of curious as to why teams were just kind of avoiding it, because it wasn't getting banned and it wasn't getting picked.
I think as the patch goes on, though, and teams start to figure out what heroes are starting to get more popular, like, I think Sand King does really well against this Terrorblade. Like, you can level Caustic Finale as well early on if you want to, and you have that ability to just push him out the lane really early. It could be a Nature's Prophet 5. I'm not 100% against it, but I'd be interested to see what Vici decide to do about this. Like, is there something that they see that can really punish the Sand King and try and help their Terrorblade farm? You know, maybe... I was going to say Bane, it just got banned. What about, like... Tree's pretty bad. Ogres doesn't look great.
Would they think about going into the Lich?
I think Lich is potential, yeah. But the problem is, like, they don't have a huge amount of physical damage on Cdec, so the Lich kind of loses value.
I feel like
maybe even like an AA
choices.
Or something.
Ooh,
up against the Morph. But then I guess they don't lack stuns. They have Puck Earthshaker.
I mean, they kind of do. You're relying on just Fissure and or Dreamcoil. Like, Dreamcoil is not the longest, because level 1, it's 70 seconds and 65 and 60. It's not that high of a cooldown, but I feel like you still want one more stun, right?
Kind of, but I mean, Shaker's They can put between them offer a lot of control, and you're probably going to go like Vessel on Yang and stuff as well. So, could take a page out of Puppy's book and put Puck 5 as well. That sounds fun.
Be the worst thing in the world. I'm trying to think.
The only thing I don't like is that Nature's Prophet doesn't lane up that massively well against Morph because he has such high armor. So I'm wondering whether they want to pick the Nature's Prophet as the 5 now and pick a different 3 if they feel like there's something that can really punish. Maybe like Underlord or something.
Yeah, I was just... Alright. I was going to get there.
Or like,
it was in my head, it just didn't get out of my mouth quick enough.
What about like Slardar as well?
Yeah, I mean, that minus armor, definitely a big one to think about. Gives you control exactly what you want. Blink Initiator. I feel like that works. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Is this to band as well? No, it's not.
No. And the thing about the Sword Art, too, more of the thing I think about it, he doesn't necessarily need to be going into the Blink Dagger immediately. You've got an Earthshaker who could... He's going to be probably going Blink Dagger first item, so if you're looking... And you've got mobility from the Puck, too, so you can initiate with the Puck with Dream Coil and everything. You don't need that Blink Dagger first item.
Disruptor is banned. I was lying.
Oh, it's to the left of the Bane. Yeah, you got it. And there's the Lich, so it ends up being the Lich that we originally came up with.
I mean, the Lich is like the safest one because it's the best in lane, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as the game goes on, like Frost Shield's never bad, but it's just the safe pick. And it does give them more catch as well, to be fair, with the Sinister Gaze.
Ooh. So they go Skywrath Mage, which we've seen be successful at times. I'm not sure it will be here, but at the same time, you do have the Cogs with the Mystic Flare combo, so you're going to need 4 staffs. You're going to need ways out for Vici. Make sure you don't get caught in that combo.
Yeah, they need 4 staffs. It's also the Sanking, though, as well, with like Blink Stun, Mystic Flare on top. And the Silence is really good against Puck as well. I'd be really surprised if Ori didn't go Yules first. I think, Void Spirits are going to be going like Orchid or Ags as well, so you kind of need the Purge for that.
Kind of like the CDC lineup with that Skywrath, but it's hard to bet against TB. That's for sure.
I don't know, they have Morphling though. I think Ori's going to go crazy on Puck this game. I think it's a really good Puck game. I think Sky's the only real hero that can deal with him, like with this Silence, and even then he gets Yules. Like there's no good stuns. Well, there's no good stuns apart from like a Sanking Burrow Strike. And can they kill Puck in a Burrow Strike duration? I don't think the answer is yes.
I think one of the things though with Puck is just, can XM control him? Sometimes we see Void Spirits who can kind of keep up, but it's very difficult.
I think Puck does fine in that lane. Like Puck is hard. You bully XM really hard. I think Ori's just a really strong laner as well. We've been seeing loads of good things from him this tournament. Oh, it's the Orchestra hits versus the Moose again.
This is what they did their previous series, right?
I think so, yeah.
Just went back and forth. I wish I knew what that one meant.
Yeah.
PYW with the highest battle pass. I love that PYW's name is just Neil. In-game.
Puck fake put a ward down mid, by the way. I think he was trying to make sure see if he could do it in vision as well. Like pretend to have put one down. And because September does have a... sorry, not September. Victoria does have a...
30 seconds.
Sentry on Clockwork. I was struggling to find my words there.
First game of the day, Mo.
Yeah, he saw where the observer was going to be placed. Like he was sitting on the high ground there and saw XM walking back on the Void Spirit. Oh, PYW. What a gamer. So how's this going to match up? TB bottom. Yang
is on this Prophet. The one thing I like about Vici's lineup too, or not the one thing, there's many things I like about the lineup. Like, I think Yang plays in such a style that I think he'll really transition into that third core quite well.
Yeah, for sure. And like all three of their cores scale okay going into the late game, right? Like Puck still does all right. It's not amazing, but I mean the fact they have like the semi-core and the offlane is really helpful. Whereas Sanking and Voice are both like these tempo controllers, and they're kind of all in on the morphling in the late game.
I know that statement sounds ridiculous. He's going to transition into that third core well, but you know, I think more of a damage dealer with this with this Nature's Prophet is more what I mean.
And he'll probably go Orchid first, I imagine.
Yeah, that or he's got the Blightstone, doesn't necessarily mean he's going Deso first. But I've been liking the Orchid. It seems like Orchid's just such a prioritized item at the moment.
And like, what does Clockwork do in this lane up against the trees? Like, they just bully him so much.
Solid fissure.
He took Cox at 1.
That's an interesting one, which means Yang's not really in much trouble in this lane. At least for now.
He's absolutely
taking a lot of damage. Weave Eurus went meta level 1, Conjure Image level 2.
Except getting really bullied in the mid lane, though.
Ooh, SRF might just die here. Has to Burrow Strike away. I mean, he's got a minuscule amount of health. XM's getting bullied pretty hard, too, over mid. Like, this is...
Look at the HP of the whole Dire team.
Yeah, so far so good for Vici. That's for sure.
No.
God damn.
It was just funny to see at the top that like they were all just losing HP at the same time. And this Sanking early on does not have a great time. But like as more levels come through, the Sanking's going to be fine. It's just this is the power of the Lich that we were saying. Like it's not the greatest hero later on, but it's the safest in the fact that it makes your lane as easy as possible.
I mean, it certainly is going to feel pretty good when you've got Frost Shield level 4. Has the build been 1-4-1 at times? They're just trying to play aggressive with that Frost Shield, or has it been like 2-4-1?
I would put a second point in Nova at least. Sometimes we don't see the Sinister Gaze leveled until a little bit later on. You can go like 2-3-0 if you really want to, but I think you end up going like 2-4-4.
Because I know we've seen like a 1-1-1 start. Look at Ori, 17-5, and XM is 17-2. So not too far behind where Ori is, just a lot of harassment, and he's got the bottle, so the net worths are staying pretty even. Because sometimes you'll just see mids like just buy all this regen, and despite them staying with it in terms of CS and everything, they're behind because they've spent so much of their gold on just racking up regen.
Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering here, this 4-minute rune I think is really important if both teams can try and secure it. Like this active rune could prove really to make this lane really one-sided either way. Arme's starting to really struggle up in this top lane as well. Yang doing a great job.
And TP mid from the Earthshaker. So PYW is coming over. He'll look for the fissure. He'll grab it. Illusory Orb, but the rune's bottom for James. They're doing a lot of damage here on the XM. He doesn't have another fissure for 14 seconds. Aether Remnant pulls in the puck, which means XM will pick up this regen rune. However, Resonant Pulse chases on. They really want to stay on him, and he pops the regen, and it immediately gets stopped. So PYW is going to have that fissure to lock him down and get the first blood for Ori. Ori in some trouble, but has some help here from DY. So all will be okay, and first blood's there for Vici. I mean, that's massive. That regen rune really could have changed it up for him, but I almost think he might have wanted to just hold it, die, and come back with it.
No, so the problem I have is he used the Resonant Pulse, and the regen keeps going if you don't take damage. Of like magical damage, because even if they hit you, because it's getting absorbed by the shield, your regen rune keeps going. So I don't know whether Puck was just holding the silence for the regen rune or what, but
I'll take your tribute.
I think if he'd have just cast the regen rune as soon as he cast the shield, I think he would have been okay. But difficult to say.
Which coming from base to mid, fill up that bottle. You think they're ever going to change that?
No, I don't think so.
He's got Dream Coil. This could be really bad for XM. It actually lands on 2 heroes, and they got PYW coming from the back. He snaps the Dream Coil, 8th Remnant. He's holding the Fissure. XM will finally die. I think maybe he could have landed on both. But for a second, PYW might just pay for the fact that he was being greedy with that Fissure.
Well, he wasn't being greedy. There was a clockwork that caught him with battery assault, so he couldn't cast it. Like it was constantly getting cancelled over and over again. So that's why it came out so late in the fight.
Did he use battery assault?
Yeah, he did.
All right, because it's 22-second cooldown. He's looking like he's gonna die here. I didn't see it on cooldown, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, PYW's absolutely loving this game,
That was
Yeah.
no shock.
and they're just winning all 3 lanes at the moment. Like there's a 1k net worth advantage already for Vici. Like XM's
that
level
was-
5, Ori's level 6. There's Coil up again soon, which is probably looking to try and get another kill before Void Spirit gets 6 himself. Oh, there you go.
He'll get it there, though. I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, what if he gets this 6 before he does, and all of a sudden Dream Coil comes in, but he doesn't have that second hero. He doesn't have that Earthshaker with him again. Earthshaker's actually just standing right under a ward.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, Super trying to not give the. I keep saying Super.
Dire's top tower is under
It's not Super.
attack.
It's Victoria, isn't it? Because they both have the Chinese names tagged up.
Yeah.
So I keep getting them
Yeah.
confused. Look at Yang here pushing in with the catapult wave, though. This tower's just dying.
Dire's top tower
Super's
is under
Super's
attack.
on RNG.
Oh, dude, this tower's dead.
And this Morph's just getting forced back.
Dire's
Like, Yang
top
gets the tower. He
has
continues to
fallen.
stay aggressive. He's going into the urn first.
Oh yeah.
He's got treads, and, like, he's set.
I was gonna say, of course he's not going Orchid. Like they want the vessel for the Morphling. That makes perfect sense.
Well, he could do that after. Sinister Gaze and caught in the Agi. Ame. Oh, dear. Hit him with those orchestra hits.
Yeah, great gaze by Lich. Took the early point at level 4.
And the thing is that, like, that doesn't even cost you the Dream Coil, so Ori can still play aggressive.
Yeah, and if they can start pushing this mid lane as well, like Yang can connect on the Nature's Prophet if he really wants
There's
to.
3 heroes coming over toward... He's going to hit this fissure on all 3. And they still refill the bottle for XM. I thought for a second Ori would want to go in, but he doesn't actually have any more help, so risky nonetheless.
Yeah, and you'll notice that Ori on this puck is maxing the silence instead of the orb first, which is really important when you play up against these mobile heroes like Void Spirit and Morph, just to stop them from being able to jump away for as long as possible. Because like you can chain stun the Dream Coil and the Waning Rift one after the other.
There's a Waning Rift, got the silence, Clockwork nearby.
Discreetly.
The whole time, too, like,
Radiant's bottom
Look at
tower
TV's
is under
CS.
attack.
he is just free farming.
Agents.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the Terrorblade actually.
No,
That's
not
quite
at all,
scary.
because everything's gone. Yeah. When that happens in the game that you're playing, when you're like, didn't they have a this? And you're like, oh, no. Like, that's happening right now. We haven't spoken about him since probably minute 2, and all of a sudden, he's sitting top of the net worth. And for a lot of the TB games that we've seen, normally we'll see a TB back up into the jungle and allow someone else to get the lane. But when it's going this well and the rest of your team is fighting and winning, do you really even need to?
My favourite one at the moment is AM and Ursa, are the 2 that I forget they have. And then, like, because Ursa just builds Battle Fury and he comes up the jungle and he's got like another 3 items. And you're like, oh, never mind. That hero farms so quickly with Battle Fury.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
May your
Okay, he did. Yeah, I took a look at that replay. He did get that battery assault off. I just didn't see it. I didn't hear it either.
You know, this is why I'm here, though. I catch the little things on the side. You do the big bits.
I feel like you're doing the big bits by breaking things down.
Yeah, you just have to shout.
Yeah. It's easy.
The seeds of fortune.
XM getting another rune. He's going Axe first. Not into the Yules. Deciding he wants that double silence. I still think that's kind of broken. I don't mind that it silences. I think the 2 charges is kind of a lot.
I think that hero would be awful though. Like it's a lot of gold.
It is.
It's 4,200 gold, so it has to be pretty good.
And things kind of quiet down, but I think Vici are okay with this, with the small lead that they've gained for themselves in the first 10 minutes. Like, Eurus is going to continue to farm. He's just about got his Yasha. Ori comes over bottom, and now they've got the Dream Coil into the Chain Frost. Goes back, and these are lucky bounces. Jesus! SRF's dead. James in some trouble. They got the silence out onto the Lich. They'll bring XM over. Aether Remnant locks him up. James on the run. One more shot will get the kill, but the Arcane Bolt comes in to kill off Yang with the help of XM. They're thinking about reinitiating. They'll throw in a Woozery Orb out, but it won't get any CS.
Yeah, that's an okay fight though, because again, at the same time, like look mid, like the TV's just free farming away. They're really struggling to deal with him. Just trying to push the tower down. Ori has Blink now as well, pretty much after that kill. Like he's 100 gold away.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, mid, they're pressuring the mid tier 1. SRF comes over with Victoria, who is level 6, so he does have hook shot.
Oh, he actually went Veil on Sand King. Okay. Fair enough.
Duels. Oh, Ori in some trouble. Astral Step, Waning Rift, but
I push
will end up dead.
ever further towards my own ends.
Ori getting caught out, and he did buy out on that on the Blink Dagger.
They need to give PYW some farm priority here though. Like on the Shaker, I think. Like he's doing okay, but I'd really like to see him just get this space, you know?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shot used on the Lich, and they're gonna have the silence, so they'll get the control for this kill with the Mystic Flare. I'm not certain that's entirely worth it. Now the Fissure comes in perfectly. Victoria's locked up, and he's dead. Yang comes in from the side, and ooh, Courier with a lot on it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If that had died, that would have been pretty significant.
Yeah, that'd have been a big disaster actually if that died. Right, also Ori has the Blink now. So it's going to be coming out on the Courier. Let's see if they can make like a smoke play or something potentially. PYW does have one on him.
Do you want to mention there is a TB in this game?
Middle tower is under attack.
We seem to just be not talking about him, but he is farming up a storm.
The big thing for me is that this Yang Nature's Prophet almost has a vessel as well. And yeah, look, there you go. He could just come out on the Courier. And now this Morphling, because he has no Purge at the moment, actually has to be super scared. You know, all of a sudden if he gets caught in a coil with a vessel charge on him, like he's going to struggle to survive.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So SRF just sandstorms on the side. I mean, this isn't really doing anything for him. They'll place another Sentry Ward down, refreshing the one that they have mid and giving them a little bit of vision to the right in the sandstorm. But they take the tier 1, and now what's to stop them from invading the jungle? There's not really much at the moment.
Question for me, when's Eurus going to be building Beekeepy this game? Oh, hang on, bot lane. I think Nature's Prophet's in... yeah, he's in no man's land a bit here. There is a Clockwork with a hook shot, so he has to be a little bit worried.
Yeah, he's doing a good job with these treants.
Oh,
that Aether Remnant had hit. That would have been pretty good for him.
Minions of night, enfold me.
this puck has kind of fallen off though. Like he rotated bot and his blink took like an extra 2 minutes when he was 200 gold off. And now they like, because the blink got delayed, like they've missed a minute or two of a window where they could have been, you know, making moves around the map.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
PYW, he's going for his Blink Dagger. You're just a couple of hundreds of gold off from getting a Manta Style for the TB. I don't know if he needs BKB right after. I guess he could start saving for the next item, get a feel for where they are in the fight, but...
I mean, it's a really good Skadi game as well. The problem is they just have more Void Spirit, Sand King, Sky, though. Like, it's all magic damage. So it depends how greedy he's feeling. I think depending how they see the game going, maybe they're happy that the TB's just able to farm his second item and then towards the BKB as well. But it's really difficult for him to take fights until he has the BKB. Yeah, and he's got Skadi queued up next. I think that most, Vici probably happy to slow the tempo of the game down a bit here. The problem is now you've got Yang who's built Vessel first and Puck who's built Blink first.
On the Lich once again. And I'll get the kill. That was weird. Mystic Flare didn't even show on my screen. You get the silence and the Dream Coil coming through onto the Clockwork. Victoria in trouble, and Eurus comes over and just one click gets the kill.
Typical carry fight contribution.
Yeah, very much so. Oh yeah, that was really weird. I didn't get Mystic Flare on my screen.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Every time, even my pubs, in casts, I can never see Mystic Flare for some reason.
It's usually pretty obvious too.
And I know some people have that bug and some people don't, so I don't know what the problem is.
Here I am.
Yang, meanwhile, he's going into a pipe. So he's going pipe next, and Blink Dagger and just 2 gold for the Earthshaker. So they've got the Blink Dagger now on the Puck and the Earthshaker. Their team fight really just excels. Dream Coil into the Echo Slime seems like such a dirty combo.
I mean, the Vessel pipe build is good. Like, it's just this, like you say, just big team fight advantage, like big utility build. I still wouldn't mind seeing him go Orchid at some point in this game. But he might want, like, Solar Crest or something afterwards instead as well.
Yeah. I was a little surprised. Just, I thought he might go Deso, Orchid, but obviously the Spirit Vessel makes a lot of sense. Just wondering what he's going to do afterwards. And meanwhile, here, Morphling's gotten drums into the Morbid Mask and looking for an E-Blade. But a long ways off that Eagle Song.
Okay, so here's the axe for the Voidsphere here on XM. Now, I'm assuming he wants to go and look for a pick-off, but the problem is, like, Vici's just 5-manning at the moment in the top lane. I don't know who they're going to be able to find.
Meta really committing for the tower. I don't know if Ame wants to come into this. I don't think they know that the Earthshaker has this Blink Dagger either, so
they need to defend that
really poorly.
They need to defend their tier 2s though to stop them from taking outposts before the 20-minute mark. So, like, they have to bring the numbers over. He's going E-Blade on Morph as well, which I think is fine.
Just I wonder how quickly it's going to be because it does not feel like it's going that well.
Morphling's such a ridiculous... It looks so stupid when it has the TB form. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. That's the...
Feels like when Rubik gets like Elder Dragon.
Sam, top lane.
Blink Echo, and there's the Fissure. They get the kill into Ame, and there's the Blink reveal on the Earthshaker. So it's exactly what I was talking about. They didn't know that he had that Blink Dagger, and they just get a little bit too comfortable pushing forward.
I think that's the biggest kill on the map. Like, from now onwards in the game. Yeah, Void Split before he got his Axe probably was, but now that, every time you kill this Morphling, like, it shuts Cdec's game down so much because he's the only really scaling potential hero on their team. And, like, we've said that Vici, they just want to, carry on farming up. Like, this TB's going Skadi first, he's not even going BKB, so they're quite happy to just keep extending this game a little bit here. And they find Victoria.
Yeah, looks like they're going to get another one. Spirit Vessel charge used. Epicenter, though, coming in, and they're trying to get a kill here on a PYW or DY. They don't get it. Mystic Flare is down. Finally, they'll finish off the Earthshaker, but here comes Ori with the Frostblast. They'll take out SRF. James falls to Yang, and it's a 3-for-1 in the favor of Vici. All of a sudden, he's got 2 extra Spirit Vessel charges. It's a 5k lead for Vici, and TB pushing closer and closer to that Skadi.
Yeah, the Voidspro just wasn't in the fight, unfortunately. I think if he was there, then they probably killed the TB as well. Because he got down to about half HP, and this Voidspro has a lot of burst damage. And these are the kind of timings that you have to abuse if you're Cdec, because otherwise what's going to happen is this game goes later and later, and like the TB and the Nature's Prophet are scaling really well, and your Morphling isn't. So, like, if you compare the net worth of the TB to the Morphling, Vici are in such a good position at the moment. Like, that's where a lot of the advantage comes from.
And they get this outpost before the 20-minute mark, so all that defense goes for naught. Oh, I say that.
I'll take your tribute.
And they're going to get it back. With seconds to spare. I spoke too soon.
I thought when the patch notes dropped, by the way, that it meant that you couldn't take over your outpost until you couldn't take any outpost until you took a
Morphling
tier 2.
again. Dream Coil down. Chain Frost in. DY gets the kill on the Ame. And yeah, you got your outpost back, but you lose your Morphling once more. And he is just getting slowed down again and again and again from picking up that E-Blade. And eventually it's going to come, and I think it's just going to be able to, what, pop a support? And that's it.
Yeah. That play, they get the outpost, they get all the XP, but they lose their morph. Carry players everywhere in tears, but all the support players are clapping their hands, rejoicing at that. Like, hell yeah, get that XP. Like, mid lane, puck.
Silence, but yeah, he's already got his Yules. He's going Ags next. Good hook shot, so should still get this kill. Again, I don't see the Mystic Flare, but I assumed I heard it, so must have been right on top of him.
Yeah, he did. I don't know why he blinked in there, Honori. That was pretty brave.
He's getting ambitious.
It's just a little bit sloppy, you know. There's just no need. What's Clock going for now? He has 1.1k. Is he going for a vessel of his own? I feel like he doesn't need it.
Could he be going Orchid?
I mean, he could. I mean, it's quite expensive, though, for a POS 5 clock to be building. Like,
Yeah.
it comes out so late. Because by the time he gets Orchid, TB's going to have BKB. Like, that's just how much farm priority they're both being given.
Looks like they want to smoke mid. Yeah. So 4-man smoke from Vici, as Yang can be here anytime.
Are scanning.
Up 7,000 net
Dire's
worth, and they're
middle
going to
tower
start
is
heading
under
towards
attack.
bottom. If they can find the CDC side, they smoke themselves.
Radiant are
And
scanning.
they're smoking with the Morphling, who, yeah, he'll just break it. And oh no, if they get Ame, he's still in the scan, and he just gets lucky to get out. Although they
This
might be
could be
looking to
bad, though.
engage. Hook shot, they may be tricking themselves into going into a fight that they might not be able to handle, and the stun, hobbling forward! Echo Slam gets committed to get the kill on SRF, they lose DY and PYW, but the damage coming in from Eurus is way too much. They look over at Ame, Ori right in front of him, he's got the Illusory Orb and the body blocks. There's the Yules, Ame trying to get a little bit of distance between him and the rest of Vici,
good
but the
sprout.
Sprout is out with the waveform, and down again goes Ame. They look over at James, the right clicks are in, the silence is there, the kill comes with it, and Yang is now dominating a 3-for-2 that is very favorable for Vici. Ame dead again, and he still sits 700 gold away from that Eagle Song.
Oh, Yang on this Nature's Prophet is doing so much work, man. Like, he's just everywhere in the fight. Like, he had so many vessel charges from the early kills that he got involved with as well.
Radiant's bottom
And, like, he still
tower
has
is
3
under
left because of
attack.
all these kills he's getting in the fight. Like, he almost has BKB as well, and we talked about how important these BKB timings are. Like, how did this dire side fight into that? It's just all magic damage, and Morphling's even going E-Blade as well, just more magic damage. I assume Yang goes Hex as well after the BKB for just a little bit of extra catch.
They're going BKB on the TV now. They'll get the kill there on to the Earthshaker.
Not you.
XM's got double damage to clean that one up as he's gone into Kaya Sanj. It's not an everyday item for the Void Spirit.
This is what we see a lot of the Chinese players do, though. I think they either go like BKB if they feel like they need it, or they go for this like Magic Amp build. Because he has the talent at level 20 as well that increases his spell amp, and then they go for this Dagon as well afterwards, just for like full on burst. But again, it's more magic damage. So if Vici can play around their BKB timings really well, then they'll just pull further and further ahead. You know, for Cdec, it's about trying to kite out the BKB duration so that they can then deal with their damage.
So tier 1 tower bottom gets pressured a little bit. Ori, meanwhile, trying to go into that Ags, and he is not too far away from it. And that also, Eurus, he's close to his BKB. And so is Nature's Prophet. There are a couple of big items coming in for Vici in the next few minutes or so.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this Ags on Puck as well is going to be really devastating. Just Because the problem is, like, these really mobile cores hate playing against Dream Core, and they can't even itemize for it when it gets the Ags. They just die in a coil duration.
I'll take Earth's bounty.
A prize.
Where is Ame? Over mid, finishes off the E-Blade. He's got 800 gold. 4 staff picked up, though, for the Earthshaker. And then Lich, he's gone Glimmer Cape. He's going into the 4 staff, too. Clockwork, did he decide on something? He's picked up the Urn.
He had the Urn before, though. So, but okay, he's going Vessel, though. He has got it. He's got the Vit booster in his backpack.
Do it with flair.
Axe for Skywrath isn't too far off.
I don't know how much difference it makes, though, when they just buy BKBs.
Lich ends up dead. Astral Step finishes him off. BKB's been picked up by Yang. And it's also been picked up by Eurus, who's going into the MKB next.
Flair's here.
This smoke could be really good. I think
Without the Lich for 30 seconds, it's advantageous for them to go for something. Oh, scans are perfect from both sides.
Yeah, they're just going to go and hold the high ground.
Tower is under attack.
People are
Huck's
just
pushing top, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Yang could just TP in here and try and take some racks or something, but he needs to save his TP for the fight, really.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's pushing once again, and I wouldn't be too shocked if Yang went up there, but again, like you said, he needs to save that TP.
Good D-ward by D-Ware. Knew they were lurking on that side before, so they're probably going to have dropped a ward in the area.
So Vici,
Bottom tower is
they
under
head towards
attack.
Roche, and Eurus is in. I've got Yang with the Blightstone and a little bit of minus armor there. They'll try to get something done, but that is a rocket flare that spots this out. The question is, are CDC going to look to go to this and try and fight it?
It's the double BKB timing from Vici. Like, this is what they've been waiting for.
Now the rocket flare comes in again and spots that they're out of the pit. So you got to assume that he or Vici are moving from the jungle and waning rift. They find themselves the Clockwork. There's the Astral Step forward as well as the Silent Sound of 2 of their zeros. The Mystic Flare is down. The 4-step from this Earthshaker is not enough to stay alive. They'll get the cone of PYW. The Chain Frost bouncing around hits onto Ame. They finish off James. Aether Remnant locks up the TB. But TB is not going to be pressured any further until SRF comes in with Burrow Strike. There's the Manta! Eurus so good! They get the kill on a DY, and they look over at SRF. They'll get the kill on the Sand King, and on the high ground is Ori, who will blink down the low ground, looking over at the Void Spirit. They've got themselves the Silence, as well as the Dream Coil placed down on XM. Aether Remnant pulls him in. Metamorphosis runs out to Simulate, trying to get to the high ground, or is he? He goes on to Ori, and then Astral steps back up high.
They're just going to go into the Roche for it, though. That coil actually lasted next to no time because of the Kaya Sanj on the Void Spirit. Is he in trouble?
Well, yeah, he might just be dead here.
Ooh!
Well, right clicks more and he would die. Astral steps away, hook shot out onto Yang with the E-Blade Adaptive Strike. But they still don't kill him just yet. He pops the BKB. He'll run away from Victoria. TPing in is Lich.
So, I don't know if you saw what happened in the fight before. Around this high ground, you know where he managed to dodge the Burrow Strike, which was insanely cool, by the way? Or he was just sitting on that cliff where the ward is for the whole fight.
Yeah.
He accidentally orbed up there, and then I'm pretty sure he just couldn't get down for ages. Because I'm pretty sure they kill the Void Spirit earlier on in the fight if he isn't on the cliff. Because he couldn't get within range to use Coil. And unfortunately, Ori TZ having some issues.
I thought, and it looked like the meta had run out. One of the illusions went back to normal. But at the end of the day, it could have been a Morphling illusion going back.
Mm-hmm. They need this big damage item on the TB now. Like, this MKB is so good at the moment, but because the Skadi's really nice, like the Manta's really nice, BKB's really nice, it keeps him alive, it keeps him, strong in fights, but he needs that big punch now. And when the MKB comes out, he's going to be a lot stronger. This Morphling E-Blade, though, is pretty good. And, like, they're getting their BKB timings lower, which we said is really important. Yanks is down to 9 seconds now. I mean, TB still hasn't used his, but like
Yeah,
every
you just kinda
second counts.
Stood and traded. Yeah, it does, but it's also just getting down to 9 seconds, considering the fact that they
Oh my god!
Tower is under attack.
Did you see
clipped
that?
himself.
He tried to
Jesus.
he tried to hookshot the puck, and then they just end up both on the cliff.
Yeah, so 9 seconds, considering the fact that, you know, they're up 10k. So yeah, you're getting a second off, but will it matter if you're this far behind? Doesn't feel like it. What level is this Dagon? 2? Okay. Surprised they haven't taken another chance at Roche. Or at least try to force that fight.
It's really hard to fight into it when they have the vision from the rocket flare, though, and they're sanking as well. They can just blink into the pit and blow everybody up. This voice bit, by the way, has not died in so long, from what I recall. Like, I'm pretty sure he died twice really early on in the game. So, like, although he's not,
Might
he's
be right.
even though he's struggling to deal a little bit of damage, like, he's being an absolute pain in the ass.
Let's see if I can find the last time he died. Yeah, it's been a while because they killed him very early.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, he hasn't died since about the 7-minute mark.
Wow.
And they smoked up for CDC. They're not in Roach Pit, though. Yang's just pushing out bottom. He's going into a Mjolnir, so he's trying to transition into more damage. Eurus, meanwhile, going into the Satanic after finishing off this this MKB. Wrath of Nature doing a lot of damage there on a James and Victoria.
It's just they're like both, it's like Mexican standoff, isn't it, around the Roche Pit? Really?
Yeah,
like
they're just waiting for someone to make a
Dire's
mistake.
top tower is under attack.
It's a really tough one because if you put one step wrong, like the other team could punish you really hard for this. Like 9k net worth advantage sounds like a lot at this point, but you know when there's so much burst potential from Cdec, like if they don't pop a BKB on one of their cores, or like somebody gets caught by a random stun from the sanking, they can just like all smash their head against them and kill them instantly.
They're coming forward with another smoke. SRF, he's been spotted. They've got the Waning Rift, so he can't throw a strike away. There's a Frost Plus as well as a Sinister Gaze. They'll get the kill on SRF, and that's a big one again. Could just go right into Roche.
And that's the problem. Right there.
Yeah. When this happens across the river, it gives you plenty of opportunity to just back off towards Roche, take control of some objectives, especially being the outpost.
I think he's going to have
is-
to buy back here, yeah.
Yeah. They might have to commit, though. This is already pretty low. So they have to set up.
This isn't, I don't think this is good, yeah.
Radiant's
They might as well just get out the
under
pit.
attack.
With flair.
I wonder if CDC try to steal it now. Or at least go for it. It's really tough for both teams. Like we said, it's kind of like that standoff going on. And CDC, they're starting to put themselves around the pit, hoping they can find something.
Dire's middle
They're just struggling to
tower
find
is
that
under
opening because
attack.
Vici holding the high ground triangle so well.
And continuing to farm here, he's just 1,000 gold off the Hyperstone, finish off that Mjolnir.
And it's so easy
And
to play this
then-
kind of game when Nature's Prophet can just TP to the bot lane, push out the lane, and then you can control the other two waves from playing the triangle. Like, they don't have that luxury on Cdec. Like, they have to just use the rocket flare, I guess. Which isn't too bad. Like, at least they can still push the lane out without being there.
Boom! There it goes.
You've got the Puck Eggs, you've almost got this Satanic on Terrorblade. He picks up the Reaver, has that extra strength. Like, he is really farming up a Storm here. He's so far ahead of this Morphling.
I feel like I was only just talking a second ago about how he was going to finish his MKB.
Dire are scanning.
Dragon level 3.
Dire's middle tower is
Getting
under
close to the
attack.
Dagon 5.
Arms for the dead.
Dire's bottom
The more and
tower
more
is under
they
attack.
sit back, I think Vici just continue to extend their lead. This has been okay for Vici, and every so often they're going to try and poke and prod again to the Roche Pit. Still sitting here at about half health, so they got halfway from it the first time. If they go back into the pit, maybe they can get the other half. But as I say that, CDC are setting up. They are not as far as they were the first time, or the second time. So they back out of the pit once again, and Vici... Can they just sit stationary like this?
I think like, there's no pressure on them to try and end the game right now, though. I think like they can wait for the Satanic if they want. Like, there's no pressure. Because like even if this morph gets scarred, it's not a massive deal. Like in comparison. Yes, it's annoying, but like I don't know. I like that he's going Lincolns on Ori on the puck as well. Like when you're playing against this Sand King, he's the like we said, he's the only stun on their team. So if you can cancel the Blink Burst Strike with the Lincolns, like they have no control for you anymore, really.
Is this a 4-staff coming in? Yeah. So DY gets his 4-staff. You've got a 4-staff available on PYW. He's also trying to pick up Shadow Blade. Morphling continuing to farm. Where's TB in terms of levels? 2 levels behind the Morph.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Morphling's actually getting close to 25. Back towards the pit they go, but immediately the rocket flare. Oh, finds the vision and...
Oh, they missed the coil on the Void Spirit.
Oh.
That was so close, and the Fisher almost hit as well.
Missed that coil, and now it's their turn to fight. Throw strike on Eurus as well as DY. They've got the silence. They'll start to back off. CDC
How's
not fully committing.
Dire's
I'm
middle
amazed
tower
DY
is
lived
under
there.
attack.
That's... This guy's good. Do you know what I want to see?
4-staff.
I want to see at some point in this game, right? DY builds an axe, and then Ori, he coils somebody, loads of people right on the edge, and then DY blinks just beyond them and like pulls them all away out of the coil and snaps it. Dude, it's going to be big, I'm telling you. TB gets an illusionist cape, by the way. Good stuff.
You think he's going to get the gold to do that?
Yeah,
He's at
sure.
1k right now if he wants it, but
They managed to get the Aegis.
they just steal the Aegis. Silence comes into the TB as well as DY. DY taking a lot of damage from the E-Blade as well as the Adaptive Strike, and in Metamorphosis is Ame. Looks over at Eurus. They're going to start to trade. Eurus has the Satanic, so he's winning this fight for right now. Chain Frost comes around, bouncing, not doing a lot. Illusory Orb over. The BKB's been popped by Ame, but it's about to run out, so he'll back off. They got the buyback from DY, and they've got the Aegis. That's really good for CDC. Vici spending all this time waiting, poking, prodding, and they don't even get it. And it's here for Morphling, which is huge.
I can't believe they've managed to sneak that. Like, I cannot believe Vici just let it go. Like, now Yang bot lane as well might be in a bit of trouble here.
Oh gosh, he is being chased by Ame. BKB popped, gets the silence, but Yang, he's just eating this damage and he's straight dead. But Eurus comes over and they pop the Aegis.
Okay. There's a
Although
DD on
from
the
that,
Terrorblade.
though, there are people coming over, and it's everybody rotating. The hookshot comes through. Oh, Burrow Strike hits
Yes, they
on
beat
Puck as
TB.
well as the TB. Puck's in trouble, TB's in trouble, but they'll get the kill on James, and they'll take out PYW and DY. So the supports are gone on the side of Vici. They buff back on DY, and now Yang as well as PYW will buy back themselves. Yang trying to fight with the help of the TB. Ame, waveform, Burrow Strike hits on Yang as well as the silence coming in from the Resonant Pulse. Victoria's been found. The double damage from Eurus doing a lot of damage onto the Clockwork. Can they get the kill here? A couple more shots, and they'll finally find him. Monster kill for Eurus. However, doesn't become much more fruitful than that. And the buybacks from Yang and PYW now put Vici in a bit of a bad spot.
Ori managed to survive just on the side of that fight as well. He managed to get the... he was like 100 HP or something, and he managed to blink and get a TP away as well. So really close to being an awful fight for Vici. I really thought the TB was going to die at the start of the fight because he didn't have BKB, and they almost blew him up. But, you know, fortunately for him, he managed to get force-stuffed. I think it was by DY, and then get his Satanic off and just allow him to punch people to get his health back.
So
I hate that TB has an illusionist cape.
25 for Morphling, has that +3 multi-shot adaptive strike instead of the waveform charges.
I mean, if he can kill all the TB illusions, though, it feels pretty good. Oh, magic lamp. It's not what anybody wants on this team, really. That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, TB's got the illusionist cape. Puck's gone into the timeless relic.
It's alright, because Morph has an illusionist cape now as well. So, and he's building Manta already. Maybe, right? Just hear me out with this. Instead of TB having the illusionist cape, you give it to the Nature's Prophet, because then trees get stronger. Think of the value.
Interesting.
They catch the
fissure. Looks like they'll get Victoria's Sinister Gaze will hold him close, but the jump in from XM almost killing DY. Now he's in the Dream Coil. Hook shot comes out on a Urus, but he pops the BKB. The Echo Slam follows it up. They'll get the kill into the Void Spirit, or will they? He's silenced for the moment, has the Yules. Ame on the back lines, gets the kill on the DY. They'll find the kill on XM. The buyback comes in from the Clockwork. And
they see Ame though on the Morphling.
Ame, he needs to be careful. You're going to jump forward. Victoria's right here, but he doesn't have hookshot for another 24 seconds. The BKB's been popped by the Morphling. James just winning on the high ground looking for silence. That's only on no illusions. Urus making his way forward through the cogs. PYW in a little bit too far. SRF gets in trouble. Get the kill. Ame's dead. He's got buyback though. And all of a sudden, they'll use it for him and the Void Spirit. XM comes in. He's got himself the jump with the Astral Step. And Yang trying to TP out. They'll get the kill into James. No Skywrath Mage for 60 seconds. Down the Dream Core follows it up. They get the kill into Yang. They take on the Nature's Prophet, but James goes down, as does XM. They look over at Victoria. The right click's coming in from Urus as well as Ori. Can they get the kill into the Clockwork? They'll look over at Ame, SRF, Epicenter right onto Urus. And the Burrow Strike, the Mantle was too early. They get the kill onto Urus. Victoria falls. Ori and DY alive, but no buyback from Yang and or PYW.
They did use the 2 buybacks on the cores though, on the Cdec side. Like this Morphling and the Void Spirit both brought back. So, you know, you take one more good fight now for Vici where you kill either of the cores and then they're in serious trouble. Because this puck has Timeless Relic as well. Like, this coil is lasting absolutely for, like, ages. It lasts forever. And they have like this tier 1 mid up as well, so it takes ages for Cdec to try and push here to get to the racks. So, like, although they take a good fight on Cdec, overall, in terms of the game, Vici come out ahead just because, like, they can't push quick enough. They can't, like, get any objectives from the buybacks that they've used on Cdec.
Looked like Urus was a little too preemptive going to that Manta, trying to avoid the Burrow Strike.
I mean, it's so hard to do.
Yeah, like, he did it once, and it's like, I'm expecting him to do it every single time. But that fight puts him and Ori over 25, so... You know, the plus 350 Winning Rift AoE in range, and then you've got TV, who's now into the Metamorphosis attack range.
Yeah, I think it's really important that you take that up against the Morphling, though. Like, 'cause he gets the extra range as well from the meta. So, like, he's able to keep his distance a little bit more than usual on the Morphling when he's trying to lay down the hurt.
Octarine Core next for Puck. TV going into the Abyssal Blade.
Ori had an arcane rune that whole fight as well. It was quite like he was just everywhere. And he's like, oh, that was quite good. Maybe I should have more cooldown reduction all the time. Please. I'll build Octarine Core. Oh, that's it, okay.
Wonder if that is the mindset. All of a sudden it's like, I do like using my skills at a shorter cooldown.
I mean, it's pretty good, though. Like, because you get the voodoo masks now as well, so it's like you get the healing from all your spells.
You're just buying out on the Abyssal.
Okay. Risky, but high risk, high reward. I mean, the only reason he died in the last fight is because they used the buybacks on the 2 cores. Like, he was there forever. He has 4,100 HP. Like, this guy's huge. And it allows him to have that instant initiation versus the Morphling and the Void Spirit. Epi.
Epicenter? Right? That's on cooldown.
He tried to use it onto Yang. Just BKB TP away.
He's almost 25 too.
Bounties for the dead.
Who the Sank? Yeah, he is actually.
Yeah.
The Sandstorm Slow and Blind is going to be really good against all the TB illusions. I hadn't even thought about that. Because the TB illusions can't BKB. So this mischance is... Ooh. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
That's quite cool. He's going Hex as well on Sanking, which could be really key. Up against this like Puck who's built the Lincolns, you need the Hex and the Burrow Strike.
Would you be sad if he took the 40 regen?
Yes, I'd be absolutely livid.
Winning Rift, Dream Coil out on SRF. He'll use himself, but this lasts forever.
Oh, there's a nullifier
So
on the
he's
Prophet.
still here. Finally it runs out, but they've got the silence as well as the nullifier, so they get the kill in SRF, and he might be forced to buy back. However, I say that PYW, he's getting attacked. Eurus pops the BKB, they get the kill into this Earthshaker. He did use Echo Slam in that fight. They didn't find anything with that. Yang is a bit far forward, so he's forced to pop his BKB, and that BKB now is 5 seconds.
So, it's worth pointing out this nullifier on the Nature's Prophet. Arme has to be really careful with how he uses his Satanic now. Because... Oh, he's actually disassembling the E-Blade on the Morphin. Or did he just... I think he might have just sold it, actually. I don't know. Right now he's gone Butterfly instead. Which I think he really needs. It's all about the right-click war versus the Terrorblade now. Like, this E-Blade's okay, but... He needs the raw, like, right-click damage potential. Can you disassemble E-Blade? I didn't think you could. Maybe he just sold it. I don't know.
No, you can. Just look at the
Oh, you
SK.
can. I've never seen anybody disassemble E-Blade before.
Usually an item that you're trying to take advantage of the entire way through.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't have a recipe, does it? I'm pretty sure is that how it works?
Radiant's bottom tower
on
is
disc.
under attack.
So Spell Prism and Magic Lamp for XM.
Oh, I guess it's when his Aeon Disc is on cooldown, he just swaps the Magic Lamp in. Would be my assumption.
Ags, MKB next for the Nature's Prophet, Lich Aeon Disc, sad it's not the Ags, BKB next for the Earthshaker, Puck is still looking for that Octarine Core. But TB saved up 4,200 gold, so he's just skirted in a buyback. Meanwhile, Roche is back up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Would avoid Spirit take. Dissimulate Stun, no
Radiant's
surprise,
middle
Sand
tower
King,
has fallen.
not 25 yet.
How close is he? Oh, he's almost there.
Illusion.
It's so difficult to just go into the pit again, though. Like, it's not fun.
On both sides, yeah.
And it's off.
It'll be interesting.
This rocket flare is going to come through again. Yeah, like, are they going to come over here on Cdec? They're not smoked up or anything.
Gives them true sight. Wrath of Nature. Uh-oh, SRF. Throw strike onto the low ground. The Mystic Flare comes in. Ori blown up. Chain Frost, that's going to bounce around. Hits on a Victoria, now comes back up at XM, now back down. But they've got the Abyss Blade being used by Eurus. They'll look over at this Clockwork. Can they get the kill with the Sinister Gaze? Yes, they'll lock him down and get one.
There's a gem on the
Clockwork gone
floor.
for 80. Gem on the deck. It feels like they're trying to bait out somebody to come grab it with PYW right there. Nobody will, and he'll pick it up himself.
TB Illusion's just fighting on the side, on the hill. I wonder if they give the Aegis to the Puck here. I guess they do then. Because there's no Clockwork here, so they can't scout it out with Rocket Flare anymore.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
So, Aegis picked up for Ori.
Yang's taking the cheese as well, but not in his inventory at the moment. This Shaker really needs BKB now as well. PYW's really struggled to like find his way into this game because there's so much like random crap just being thrown around in fights that he struggles to get the echo off.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower
She was
has
for the
fallen.
Sand King, and he has gone into the 40% Sandstorm.
Thank God.
So am blind.
Dire's
Oh!
middle tower is under attack.
Ori.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Searching. I mean, it's what? 60 seconds? Who cares? Might as well use it. Any chance you think you're gonna get something.
I really hope Yang builds the Hex on this Nature's Prophet next. Yeah, and maybe he feels like he needs another damage item for himself, but I don't know. I feel like they're just lacking a tiny little bit of like cheap lockdown, like instant initiation, because they have the Shaker, but he's struggling to find his openings. Like we said, he's actually got AC queued up. Okay.
And then TB's got Moonshard. Queued up.
TB's got a double damage, dude. We're gonna see TB Axe soon.
Yes.
He's gonna get to the point where he actually has the gold. He's so farmed.
Come on, just do it. Don't buy the Moonshard. That's dumb.
Well, he's going for it next though now, right? So you just have to wait 6,000 more gold, and then he'll have it.
I mean, he's not got it queued up,
Dire's bottom
but it
tower
would be
is under
nice.
attack.
I mean, what else? Maybe he goes Rapier instead of MKB
Radiant
actually.
are scanning.
Me instead of Axe.
Yeah, but I mean, like in its inventory. Sorry, like he replaces the MKB with a Rapier.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Just go Axe. Dude, you get the Dream Coil, and then you fear them out of the
Oh
Dream Coil.
my God,
Please.
dude, that's gonna win them the game.
It's first grade stuff,
And then,
Eurus.
and then DY builds an Axe as well, like we talked about before, and they just pull them away even further.
Let's relax. DY
Well,
has
they fear them
200
away, and
gold.
they fear them away, and they pull them in at the same time, and then they just die because their body gets pulled apart. That's the. Dude, I'm so smart.
Ori. Cliffing himself once again.
He just likes the view. Phase shift down to 4.5 second cooldown now with the Octarine. Seems good.
Dream Coil down to
Top
45
lane.
seconds. Yang. He's gonna die here. And he's dead for 99. He's got buyback. DY trying to come through. They've got themselves the Waning
Oh,
Rift.
they got the
Dream
Morphling.
Coil. Morphling in trouble. Frost Blast. Chain Frost. They should have the Sinister Gaze with this, but there's the Fissure. SRF trying to find something with the Waning Rift. That will silence him up. Eurus goes into the Metamorphosis, and they should be able to catch SRF. They've got themselves the Waning Rift as well as the Abyssal Blade. They'll take out the Sand King, and
They want the
both
Morphling, though.
Offlaners are gone. Ooh, almost.
I'm really surprised PYW didn't commit the Echo to try and get the Morphling. Like, he tried to use the Enchant Totem after the Fissure, and it was too slow. The Morphling got his BKB off. I honestly thought they could have got him there.
800 gold away from having Axe, but he needs the Axe Blessing, right? Because he doesn't want to give
he
up a
does.
slot.
Ori, big silence, big
Man,
coil.
Sinister Gaze. They've got themselves locked into a bad position here on the CDC. They get the kill into James. They look over at Victoria with the Abyssal Blade being used by Eurus. They have the locked in to kill the Clockwork, make it a third. They all do have buyback. Let's see how Vici press on, as they do still have the Aegis, and Yang up in 27.
It's so satisfying after the clock dies, watching all the cogs die around them as well, because they've got so much attack speed. Oh, love that.
Generation.
I think he's going to go Rapier on TV instead of the Axe.
Nah. Why risk it? You're up 13k. Don't need to do that. Yes! Oh my god, it's gonna happen. Let's go, baby. I've never been so happy in my life.
Dude, imagine you asking for TB Axel game, and me asking for Orc Tournament, and me asking for Sand King Orc Tournament, and then we get them in the same game.
Oh man. Morphing's actually level 30.
Okay, so he gets the waveform talents as well. All his talents are really good, actually. Because I don't know which talent he took at 20, but whichever one he's just received as well is really nice.
Of course, the double damage for Eurus.
Dude, cooldown reduction on the Illusionist Cape.
He's sending
Hell
that
yeah.
courier over, dude.
Oh my god, he's gonna do it.
Oh my god. This is gonna be it. Dream Coil into the Terror Wave, snaps it, everybody dies.
Is that what it's called? Terror Wave?
Yes.
That's such an awful name. I want him to like build the axe now and then just kick it, put it on the floor and kill it. Like,
Kindred bounty.
oh my god, this is it.
Radiant are
What?
scanning.
Oh yeah, he has to be meted for it to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
My path leads to
I
For a
hope, you
second, I was
guys,
like, where was it?
I hope you guys are ready for this. He just manta dodged the smoke, by the way, on TB. Dude, Eurus is so good at these manta dodges.
I don't think they're gonna expect this. Oh my god. Terribly, where are you? Dream Coil. Alright, he's leashed. Do a lot of damage on the Yang. They've gotten themselves a hookshot. Eurus coming in with the double damage. He's going to move forward. They've got themselves a Sinister Gaze as well as the damage on Axum. They'll get the cone of the Void Spirit now. Eurus moving over. There's the Terror Wave. It's on SRF. Echo Slam committed. They'll get the kill onto the Sand. He's there for 99 seconds without buyback. It's a 90-second cooldown, so that's all we're seeing.
That was really good, though.
As,
like, it just sent the
Victoria
Sanguine
gets the
flying
kill.
in the other direction. He has no
Yeah.
buyback on SRF. Do you know why they won that fight?
Terror Wave.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
By the way, 4 minutes away from tier 5 items.
Okay. I'd be surprised if the game ended that long now, to be honest. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Not at all.
Meta's got a fourth of the duration. Ori doesn't have Aegis anymore.
I don't know, I just feel like if they force us here, like XM has no buyback, right? If he has to be forced to buy
SRF
back
has
into
no
the game
buyback.
here, and SRF doesn't have buyback either. And I think they can just kill XM again when he respawns with the coil.
Well, XM does have buyback.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is if they force it here. Oh, okay, they've got repair kit. Never mind.
Ah, so they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. It's as simple as that.
Ooh. That's a big jump. Waning Rift. Oh, hook shot? Nope. Onto the illusions. Now they've got the Sinister Gaze as well as the damage onto Victoria. He just bought back, so he's gone. If he does eventually fall here, and Victoria will be gone for 108 seconds, they get the kill on James. Abyss Blade forward, but of course the buyback on the Skywrath Mage. They're continuing to go on the tier 3s.
Dude, I don't know why that clock went in when he has no buyback. Like,
Yeah, he just bought back
That's
just
crazy.
to hook shot and die.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has
That's at
fallen.
least one Center X.
Dire's
God, they
middle
rip
barracks
through these
has fallen.
buildings.
yeah, there's no repair kit on this one either.
Do they commit? Waning Rift, Illusory Orb back with the phase shift, so he'll jump back. Is it divine? Jesus! Ami, what are you saving up for? Christmas? It's 20,000 gold!
To buy an axe upgrade, like,
Do something! You have 13,000 surplus! Go on a shopping spree! Wait for him forward,
Comes the
going
Epi.
in. Fissure comes through, but I'm able to avoid it. The epicenter comes flying through. There's
what a
the
coil.
Abyssal Blade. The Dream Coil comes out. Eurus. He's still gonna get this kill, but they can't find it on SRF just yet. Finally finish him off. DY is the one who gets credit for Yang a little bit too far. The Dagon as well as the Astral Step. He silenced Yang. Invis. Is he really gonna get out? The Assimilate finishes him off just in time. They'll buy back on Yang, but now Ori was in a little bit of trouble to get the kill on XM. They'll take him out. He buys back immediately. Ami trying to do what he can. Finally, DY low. Astral step forward. XM gets credit for the kill, and they look over at XM as he jumps forward to get the kill onto him. Echo Swim for PYW. That lands onto two of these heroes, and the two heroes that remain. Ami trying to manfight against PYW. The damage coming in from yours, and the rest of the team is too much for him to handle. The Yule from Ori onto the Morphling. They'll get the kill with the Abyssal Blade. They'll take him out. They'll buy back immediately. In the tier 4's Victoria with the hook shot forward. They get the kill to PYW. Now with the silence on the both these
Amazing
heroes as
trouble.
well as the leash out on Ame. He's trying to man fight. What can he do? Nothing. He can't do anything. He didn't buy anything with all that gold. He's losing the game with 15k. I don't know what you're doing. But GG is called, and Vici will take game 1.
oh, my game crashed. I mean, that was insane. Like, I don't think I've ever seen so much surplus at the end of a game before.
It doesn't make any sense.
But to be fair, now for game 2, he's actually going to start at a massive advantage because he's going to have 15,000 net worth over everybody else.
Oh my god. I mean,
But like I don't know.
it makes no sense.
To be honest, I think Yang ended up being the hero that like changes that game. Like Yang and Ori between them, I think played really well. Like they always found the right openings. Like Yang just built these scaling items as well. So when it gets to this late game, like you were saying, they're all in on the Morphling to be doing a lot of the damage. And unfortunately, you have the semi-core and the Nature's Prophet as well. So they basically have 2 cores against 1. And like Eurus dies once all game. I mean, he has 949 GPM on the TV. And that fear actually ended up being really big because it killed that Sanking in the first fight originally before. And it killed the Void Spirit the first time before he bought back. Because he just got feared up and just dies. Like, I don't know how long it lasts, but I think it was quite a long time.
It's a while.
But yeah, like this, I don't know. This game was, we can analyze it all we want. I feel like, that first Roche from Vici, letting Cdec take that, I think really hurt their game. That was the big moment for me, which allowed Cdec to come back into the game and potentially win. Because I feel like if Vici take that first Aegis, their game's a lot easier. Didn't work out that way, though, but yeah, well played by Vici. It's the first game of a best of 5, though, B-Cup.
Yeah, and that one was an hour long. We got our Ags TV special with the Sand King. I'm happy. I mean, I'm ready to see that 4 more times with 4 different outcomes. Please. Give us that every single time.
Terrorblade wins another game as well.
Yeah, Terrorblade between these 2 teams is now 4 in a row. That's, balanced hero, I guess. If we're going to go that direction.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, all these Chinese teams seem to play around it so well. And they just farm the jungle so quickly. I can't help but think if this was like a Europe versus China competition still, though, like all these Europe teams used to play the tempo game so hard. And imagine if they were like running all these really greedy Chinese like cores on the Chinese still. I honestly feel like teams like Secret and stuff would just run at them non-stop. So like there is potential to do that, right? Like,
yeah.
But we haven't really seen it from either of the teams this competition. They always want this like fallback potential with the carry that goes into the late game themselves. So, maybe as the series goes on, Cdec might feel like they need to change things up a bit, potentially. But, for now, 1-0 Vici, see where it goes from here.
Yeah, what's really fun about BO5s is they seem to take on a meta of their own sometimes, so hopefully we'll see that here. We'll be back with Game 2 as Vici have a 1-0 lead. I'm your Captain B-Cop, joined here by Mofar. We'll be back with Game 2 in just a second. Stay right there.
Dire's turret has been killed.
It fills me with nothingness. First blood.
Gather round.
Vanished to the void.
Double damage. Must be getting.
Stay near.
Invisibility.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.